We now have to compete in a world economy where other countries have dramatically improved their education systems and on some measures exceeded America's performance. The federal government has supported students for years with Pell Grants, low-interest loans. These programs have been successful. What else can the federal government do, if anything, to ensure America is a world leader in educating its next generation? Mr. Allen.
Well, I believe you should give each child an opportunity to get an education. Now, how's the best way to do that? That is the question. I think that you will note that the federal government has thrown enormous money at the education process and bureaucracy. And as you said, we are no longer leading the world in education. That tells me that we've got a problem. That tells me that we need to bring the education of our children back to the local level. I think we know locally how to do it best. I don't think that bureaucrats in Washington can tell us here in Richmond County and throughout this district the best way to educate our children.
Ms. Sheffield?
The Federal Department of Education was created under the Carter administration, came into effect in the 1980 specifically. You know, what we've seen along the way is regardless of how much money we throw into our educational system, we don't seem to be improving internationally as we look at what our students are doing. Right now, our Federal Department of Education is running $78 billion a year with over 5,000 employees. Just think about what that $78 billion could do in the classrooms if we had education here at a local level. I think, you know, we talk a lot about diversity when we talk about issues, but I think we need diversity in education. And what I mean by that is I am a proud graduate of a public school system, and I strongly support public schools. But parents know best which is the best way to educate their children. So whether or not it's a charter school, a public school, a private school, a religious school, I think any and everything ought to be on the table so that we can start moving towards having a better educated society of people here in our country, because we're going to have to be able to compete globally.
All right, thank you, Ms. Sheffield. Mr. McLeod.
You know, spending our educational the amount of money that we spend on education has quadrupled in the past 25 years. We all know that the quality of our education has gone down as we rank ourselves and compare ourselves with the other industrialized nations of the world. You know, when you look at that, what we've done has just flat not worked. Now the question is, what do we do from here going forward to put ourselves back at the top of that ranking? To create the best students in the world, to give our children every opportunity, quite frankly, the same opportunities that we've all had. You know, that's why you're here, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm running. Now, what can be done? Well, quite simply, get the federal government out of the process. You know, you'll never convince me that adding another layer of bureaucracy in our educational system makes one bit of sense to me. Now, that doesn't mean we're not cutting funding. Matter of fact, I want to increase the funding or increase the return on the dollars that you and I will spend on education.